Hello everyone and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we'll be taking a look at Arrowhead Towne Center, a mall in Glendale, Arizona, and one that many viewers have requested that I cover. Now, Arrowhead Towne Center is not a dead mall. It's actually quite the opposite. It's a very busy mall. It opened in 1993, and as of 2018, it's still the only enclosed shopping center in the western suburbs of Phoenix. And I'm sure that's why it's really busy. This is actually quite refreshing, considering most of the malls that I go to are usually dead or dying. Let's take a look at the map here, and this is something really cool that I've been seeing in newer malls, are these like touchscreen interactive maps. You can see here it has quite a few anchors. It's got a Macy's, a Dick's Sporting Goods, a Forever 21, which was originally a Mervyn's when the mall opened. We've got the AMC movie theater there we saw at the beginning, a Sears, a JCPenney, and a Dillards. Now, I have done videos covering the Sears and the Dillards because both of them are pretty interesting for different reasons. For example, the Sears was a Montgomery Ward originally when this mall opened. Now, the touchscreen was giving me a little bit of trouble there, but here's a look at the second floor real quick. You can see it's a pretty large mall. And there's very few vacancies. As we take a stroll through this busy mall on a Saturday afternoon, I wanted to let you know that this episode is brought to you by the Retail Archaeology merchandise shop, where you can pick up t-shirts and apparel from Retail Archaeology, Siesta Mall, and there's even shirts and posters with some interesting pictures I've taken of different malls that I've explored. So if you like that kind of stuff, there'll be a link down in the description below. Now, back in 2007, they started some little renovations and things to kind of update the look of this mall, and they also started to bring in some higher-end retailers like that Coach store we saw at the beginning of the video, and also, for example, the first Apple store on this end of town opened up in this mall. Not sure what a box lunch is. I've actually never seen that store before. But it's really nice to walk through a busy mall on a Saturday. There's even kiosks all over the place that are operating. And there's this really awesome Darth Vader Lego statue at the Lego store. Even the lightsaber lights up and the chest panel lights up. That is really awesome. Now, all of this line stuff was actually for the BuildABear store here. Apparently it gets quite busy, and it requires this amount of Disneyland type ropes and poles to keep the line in order. It's kind of insane. I mean, I've seen some long lines at BuildABear before, but never anything like this. Wasn't this busy this day though. But I guess they leave that up all the time, according to a kiosk lady that we spoke to, which you'll meet in a minute. So we're going to see a really good example of what happens when you stop being incognito here. Huh? What is that? What do you think it is, lady? It's a camera. I use a GoPro Hero 6 to film, and it's pretty small. It's like half the size of a pack of cigarettes. And I stopped being incognito because I was having a pretty easy time filming in here, and I wanted to film that Build-A-Bear and stuff, and that lady just had to jam her face in the camera. But we talked to her for a few minutes, and she said that line thing at the Build-A-Bear is always there, which is pretty insane. I've never been to this mall until the day that we came here to film it, and I gotta tell you, it really was a breath of fresh air to walk into a mall this busy on a Saturday afternoon in 2018. Let's go take a look at the food court now, though. And the food court was super packed, and there's a lot of familiar names here, too. You got your Panda Express, your Orange Julius, your Sparrow over there, and not a lot of empty tables. Something else I really love about this mall is all the skylights all over the place. You can see this food court is very brightly lit by natural light, and I love that. Sparrow. I love Sparrow. I know people love it or hate it. I'm one of those people that love it. Here's some more stuff. Look at that line for Subway. And look at that kid doing a Fortnite dance. That'll date this video. Now this is right outside the food court. There's a pretty neat little amphitheater area surrounded by palm trees. That is some early 90s aesthetic right there. I love that. And look at how full that parking lot is. Now, there were a few things that were empty. For example, this little restaurant attached to the mall. I think this was probably like a Johnny Rockets or a Five and Diner. I'm not quite sure, but it's obviously some sort of diner place. And as we'll see here in a minute, it looks like it's been closed for a bit. But even in a busy mall video, we've got to explore something abandoned. And you can see that that's pretty well been gutted inside. The caution tape was down there, so we figured that meant it was okay to go back over here. There was like some fresh sheetrock and stuff in there, like maybe people were getting ready to remodel the inside, so maybe something will be coming here soon. Or like a lot of empty restaurant stuff I've seen, a lot of times people start projects but don't finish them, so who knows. It looks like nothing's gone on for a bit though in here. Look at that old rusted sign. I love stuff like that. That may have been here since '93. It looks like this stuff came from the diner. These are those like straw holders, it looks like. And then there was a box of cup lids over here. Yeah, even in a live mall video, we gotta explore something dead. Let's head back into the mall, though. It's still really hot out here. So here's the center point of the mall, and those big screen things are something I'm starting to see in more and more malls, and they just really remind me of Blade Runner, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You can see again, once again, pretty busy. And this is the best part of the center point, this huge skylight in the middle. You can see the pyramid dome of that from the street, but it's really awesome to be underneath it. There's also an arcade here, Zap Arcade, and these seem to be kind of sprinkled in malls throughout the Phoenix area. This one was pretty empty though, and most of it was like prize games, like these skill cranes and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of these. We've got a pop socket shop. Do people still buy those? I feel like those are the fidget spinner of right now, or maybe that's already gone the way of the fidget spinner. There's a few games in here too, though. This one's pretty fun. I actually like playing this with my kid. I'm a huge fan of light gun games in general, though. But there's another prize game. Air hockey table, which was pretty cool. It'd be cooler if it didn't have garbage all over it. Mark noticed this basketball shootout game was also full of garbage and didn't appear to be working anymore. And the air hockey thing is in there. The hell? So another non-working game there, and then you've got your obligatory one working Fast and Furious racing game, and then a few more broken games. Now you'll notice this arcade's right by the Sears. I'm wondering if that has something to do with this arcade not doing very well, because we did not see a lot of people coming in and out of here. We actually saw one group of 3 girls come out of here, and I think they were the ones that left the garbage on the air hockey machine. But otherwise, this arcade seemed to be fairly dead compared to the rest of the mall, but so did the Sears, so maybe that's a factor. This also could have been a factor, this Play Live Nation. I've noticed these gaming lounges popping up in malls, and they seem to be pretty busy, and they've got like modern gaming going on in there, and I'm wondering if that's sucking some of the life from the arcade. I'd love to open an old school arcade in a mall full of Neo Geos and Street Fighter 2 cabinets, and open it right near these skylights. And this Dillards, that Dillards is actually pretty awesome. We did a separate video covering that one because it is aesthetic as hell in there, and it's gorgeous. It's a fantastic Dillards. So if you haven't watched that video, definitely check it out. Even the Hallmark Gold Crown store was busy, which those are a chain of stores that have been struggling. You know, everything's been doom and gloom lately with malls, and like I said, I guess breath of fresh air, or just really exciting, I guess, to see a mall that's actually doing well for once, and to know that not everything is all doom and gloom. The issue is, I think, in my opinion, is we're over-malled. Some of them are going to have to close, unfortunately, but I think some of them will be okay. Now here's another closed store, one of the very few in this mall. So of course we got to poke around and check it out, because that's our thing. And at first we didn't think we were going to be able to see much because of these stupid black curtains that they put up, and I hate, but they missed the gate, so we could still take a peek in there. Not sure what this was originally, though. It's not really clear. And then right next to it is another closed store. And I'm wondering if somebody got in there and wrote their name in the sand, or if that was written right, you know, by one of the employees right as the store closed for good. We weren't sure what this was either at first, but then we saw a sticker right there, you'll see it in a second, on the window, and it actually says that it was a sandal store. Which I see a lot of people wearing sandals all throughout this mall, so I'm kind of surprised this place couldn't make it. They're probably just overpriced, though. Like I mentioned, a lot of viewers requested that I cover this mall, and I think that's just because of how busy it is. And I'm happy to show that in 2018, a mall can still make it. I think it's just important to not build too many. Or if you are going to build them with big, gorgeous skylights like this. Maybe that's the key. I think I'm going to have to come back and see what this place looks like during Christmas time. I bet it's a madhouse. What's the mall situation where you live? Do you have just one mall near you? Do you have multiple malls? If you have multiple, are most of them doing well like this one, or are most of them dying? I'd be interested to know, so let me know down in the comments below. It was pretty sad to see the news about Burt Reynolds pop up on the Blade Runner screen. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this Saturday afternoon at the mall. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/retailarchaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey, thanks for checking out my video on another mall that's not dying. If you enjoyed it and you're not a subscriber, make sure to hit those subscribe buttons and follow at these social media links there, because that's the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.